So last night I had the pleasure of seeing Joker 2, Joker Folie à Deux, however you pronounce it, early. This movie doesn't come out till Friday. I was lucky enough to see this movie a little bit early, and I've got a lot to say about it.
I'm Spider-Man.
Before we get started, we're on the road to 2,000 subs, so if you guys could hit that button and subscribe to the channel. Also, leave your comments down below if you've seen this movie or if you haven't and plan on seeing it. No matter what I say, I think you should go form your own opinion by yourself. I'm 100% sure some of you will agree with me, and some of you may actually really love this movie, but I'm going to go really into depth on why I think this movie just has so many problems. So again, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's see if we can get it to 50 likes. Now let's get into this. I have to start by saying I love the original Joker movie. Yes, it does have its problems. Yes, people do say that that movie really doesn't say anything and is just depressing and violent, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix won an Oscar for that movie, not for no reason. So yeah, heading into the second movie, I was already apprehensive about it because, well, I was worried that they were going to ruin the first one, which a lot of people sometimes say, you know, don't do a sequel, you'll ruin the first one, and I find it really hard to ruin an original. But this movie feels like it really tries. Here's the entire premise of the film. Joker is in Arkham because of the events that happened in the first Joker movie, of course, and the entire film takes place in two basic settings. One, in this prison. Two, in a courtroom. That's pretty much 90% of the entire movie. He is going to court to stand trial for the crimes that he committed. That's pretty much the entire story. Oh, but Cam, you know, what about Harley Quinn? What about Lady Gaga? Oh, she's in the movie. I think she gets maybe 10 to 15 minutes max of screen time, and the trailers of this movie really mislead you. All of the scenes of Harley and Joker walking down the stairs, being together, in the makeup, in the costumes, that is all, and I mean every single moment of that, is from dream sequences. One thing that really did not work for me at all in this film was the musical element, and I really do like musicals. Here's the thing, almost every single song is kind of put in a very weird spot where it's like trying to be a bookend to a certain chapter, but it doesn't really feel like anything has happened, so the songs seem pointless, and every single song is going along the lines of I'm crazy, I love you, talking to Harley, talking to Joker. There's two redeeming qualities about this film, and that is of course the acting performances from both Gaga and Phoenix and the supporting actors, and of course the visuals. The visuals are amazing, especially in IMAX, which I was fortunate enough to see it in, but honestly, I don't always go to the movies just for visuals and for performances. I go for story, I go for character. And unfortunately, this movie takes the biggest step backwards in terms of what the first movie brought to us. I haven't even really gotten into why I dislike this movie so much, and I'm going to now. So besides the fact that this movie takes place in only two little settings that you go back and forth from, there really is no structure to the story. Joker meets Harley, and you expect this movie to be very Harley and Joker based, and yes, there is a little bit of a love story there, but there's not enough substance and there's not enough time with these characters together to really care for it. Because you have Lee, or Harley Quinn, who is an actual psychiatrist who checks herself into this mental hospital because she wants to meet Joker and be with Joker, and she's apparently crazy, where all of the trailers make you believe that she was already there the whole time in the prison. So yes, I do like that it is actually Harley Quinn, but they don't do anything with this character beyond that. For some reason, she is able to freely walk around this prison and do whatever she wants. Joker is in his prison cell with lighters. You know, there's just a lot of things that don't really make a lot of sense. Harley starts this fire in the jail cell with all of these cops and inmates around, and no one seems to see it. There's tons of that in this movie, and I was just so confused, but it hadn't lost me yet. When you get to like 60 to 70% through the movie, then it starts to get really kind of intriguing because you have Joker, who is kind of doing this whole multiple personality thing, and they're kind of trying to chalk it up as he has multiple personality disorder. But even Arthur Fleck, or Joker, knows this is kind of not true, so it's not even really a story thread at all. And it's so weird because yes, Joker did have his supporters in the first movie, but when you get to the courtroom scene and you find out that like 90% of the people in this courtroom are just so supportive of Joker and screaming every time he takes his own defense at the stand and he provides his own defense counsel, counsel. It's just weird because the entire jury is like not with Joker, but the people in the pews are just like, yay, go Joker. Even know that this guy is a horrible murderer. So this is literally what happens in the movie. Joker meets Harley in the prison. Joker goes to court several times. He loses his lawyer, so he defends himself. And during this lawyer hearing, things go crazy. But before things go crazy, we have one more time where we go back to the prison cell after Arthur kind of rats out these police officers for being horrible people. And because he did this, when he gets back to the prison cell, the guards assault him, for lack of a better term. Not to get too graphic at all, but they assault him. After they assault him, he decides he doesn't want to be Joker anymore. So he goes to court the next day and says he's basically guilty for all of his crimes, he's not Joker anymore, and then the courtroom blows up. I also should point out that the person going against Joker is Harvey Dent. A cool little cameo, but what they do here made my entire theater burst out laughing, and I don't think it was supposed to be a funny scene. So the courtroom blows up without anybody knowing this is going to happen. Yes, we heard that Joker has supporters outside, and we see a little bit of people when Harley walks in, again, just freely by herself. She can do whatever she wants in this movie for some reason. I honestly thought she could have been fake in this movie, considering in the first film, he kind of imagines this girl who makes an appearance in this movie. I thought Harley was going to be fake. But no, she just gets to do whatever she wants. The courtroom explodes, and Joker just kind of walks out of the courtroom. And then we pan over to Harvey Dent, who has half of his face all cut up, and you're like, oh, it's Two-Face, but it was so ridiculous, everyone laughed. Again, he's not Joker anymore, but he goes to the Joker steps where Harley is, and she leaves him because he's not Joker anymore. She's like, peace out. There was kind of a fantasy here that's not really there anymore because you don't want to be Joker. I'm out of here. So then, yeah, Joker escapes the courtroom by this giant car bomb that goes off, and he's kind of rescued by his supporters, which this was kind of a cool scene, but he escapes his own supporters because he's not Joker anymore. He sees Harley, she basically breaks up with him, and then he gets captured by the police again. So just to recap, this is what has happened in this movie so far. Joker meets Harley in prison. Joker goes to court. Joker goes back to prison. Joker goes to court. Joker goes back to prison. Joker goes to court, and when he goes back to court, he rats out the police officers, and they assault him, and then he decides he doesn't want to be Joker anymore. Then a bomb goes off, he escapes the courtroom, Harley breaks up with him, and then we have the wildest ending that not even I was expecting, not even I thought they would go this far. Since Joker gets caught by the police, he gets thrown back in the same exact prison, and what happens here? A random inmate comes up to Joker and kills him. He tells him a funny joke, Joker gets stabbed several times, and the guy, the inmate who stabs and kills Arthur Fleck, uses the knife to cut a smile into his face, and the movie ends. I'm not joking. That's the movie. Joker goes to court, Joker goes to prison, Joker gets assaulted, Joker dies, Harley Quinn makes some appearances and kind of just messes with his head. She's like a pathological liar, and she even tells him that she's pregnant at one point. That really never comes up again until the very end when she breaks up with him, and it turns out not to be true, of course. Look, I was kind of rooting for this movie. I wanted this movie to be good because I love the first one so much, and I knew it was going to be very tough to even come close to the hype, to the gravitas that was the first film. Needless to say, it did the complete opposite. It was a complete flop for me. I really wish this movie didn't exist. The performances, great. The visuals, fantastic. The music was good at some points, but the musical elements had terrible pacing to them. They would sing like 20% of a song and then it would go back to normal. Yes, Gaga is a great singer and she has a great performance as Harley Quinn, but she doesn't have enough time at all in this film to kind of give it any sort of value. It just makes me really angry because we have Joaquin Phoenix, who won an Oscar for this role in 2019, coming back and giving a good performance, but with no substance. Then you have Gaga, who comes in as Harley Quinn, but she's only in this movie for like 10 to 15 minutes max. This movie should not have been titled what it was titled. This is not a full love story between Joker and Harley. There are love scenes between them, but they're all really in his mind. They're all dreams, so they hold no real weight. Maybe this movie will be better on a second watch, but I highly doubt it, and I have no interest in going to see it again. I encourage you to form your own opinion on this. Go see this movie if you want to. I'm just telling you how I feel. I'm very disappointed. I really want DC to get back on track with Superman coming out next year. I think the Penguin is great. I'm going to be making videos on that as well. So guys, subscribe to the channel. Please leave a like, leave a comment down below with your thoughts, and I will see you all very, very soon.